This is the second ever time I'm sharing this experience with anyone besides my partner. First time was a couple years back on this very board, although the thread was moving so fast I doubt anyone read it. I know the premise reads like a bad creepypasta and doesn't hold up to the slightest amount of scrutiny. Nevertheless, I am fully convinced I didn't dream or hallucinate this, after corroborating the event with my uncle after the fact. If you're capable of suspending your disbelief, I hope you all find the story interesting. It mystifies me to this day. Be me. Around 10 or 11. On a vacation to Oak Island, North Carolina with my parents, siblings, grandparents, and uncle. One of the days we're there, we pile into our cars to catch a ride on a ferry off the island. If I recall, the destination was some adjacent island that had an aquarium. My parents and siblings are riding together, chose to ride with grandparents and uncle cause my uncle is one cool hombre. We're just riding along, early-ish in the day, summer sun shining bright. I believe we were trailing close behind my parents for the duration of the drive. Everything's normal. We're nearing the ferry checkpoint, just one last town we gotta drive through. I remember the town looking almost stereotypical, like a piece of preserved Americana, an antique of a town. Been over a decade now, so the imagery is spotty, but I distinctly remember a blue frilly decoration tied up near the entrance of the town. Cars line both sides of what could be considered Main Street. Cafes, various random businesses, nice houses every so often. The first weird thing I noticed was one such cafe. Catch a glimpse through the window of people? Except they weren't moving. Weird! Then a lady walking her dog, both completely frozen like mannequins. Next, a man working on his truck with a hose in one of his hands, completely frozen, except for the hose which was still running water. Eventually we reach the checkpoint. The day resumes as normal. For the entire duration of the ride and the rest of the day after, nobody mentioned anything about the town we just rode through. Even as I was witnessing it, I felt a strange sense and didn't attempt to speak, to ask if anybody else was seeing this and what was happening. Oddly didn't think about it much after. If I did, I chalked it up to a dream or imagination since nobody mentioned it to me at the time or after. Many years later, hanging out with my uncle like usual. He's dicking around on the computer. Out of nowhere he asks me, "Hey Josh, do you remember the Mannequin town?" Shit bricks and feel like a weight has been lifted off me. We start discussing it with each other. One of us will bring up some random detail that was buried in our minds, and it instantly clicks. Like, oh shit, I do remember that. How could I have forgotten? We both recount that strange sensation of not wanting to talk about it as it was happening, and how weird it was that we just sat there and witnessed it like it was normal. It was pretty clear he was pretty happy to finally talk about it just like I was, just to know we're not crazy. Now every couple years one of us will bring it up again like, "You still remember Mannequin Town? That was wild." I think to make sure it really did happen a Mao. So yeah, weird dealio. Don't know if we drove through some pocket dimension or if we had a simultaneous impromptu acid trip. Either way, that's really the only super strange thing I've ever experienced in my life. Did some cursory digging over the years and never found any explanation or even similar stories about Mannequin Town.